Okay. Would probably help if the YouTube video was on public. Welcome back, everybody. Don't know why that got such a private, but here we are now. So, it is the free draw. Okay, let's do that. Get the stream up and running. Got some music going. Bar, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Let me grab my drink and then we'll start this up.
All right.
Greetings, stream hype. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome, everybody. Let's get this live streaming. All right, welcome back. I'm Rookzer0. Today we're gonna do something a little different, hopefully. Well, not super different. I mean, it's still a free draw. There's a link in the Discord if you'd like to come draw with us today. But I'm gonna draw some rugby, and then there is a post up on the YouTube right now. For people to vote on what they'd like to see drawn, as well as we might have a special guest, maybe, which will lead to some other shenanigans. But if not, we're gonna draw a few things. And instead of drawing a whole bunch of stuff today, I thought it would be more fun to kind of spend a little time, doodle around a little bit, and then spend like a good half an hour to an hour on one drawing. So I'm gonna try to do that. We're gonna have the YouTube poll is up, which I've just discovered you cannot share YouTube polls, which makes me upset. So we'll see how that goes. Might be something where we do it on Twitter next time. It looks like we have some people voting though, and it looks like once again we are split. So cool. I forgot that polls don't work on this community. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna stop the rugby though. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing well.
I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. We are joined by a Bluest Druid and a Corvus today. How's your day? I'm doing pretty good. I'm having a good time. Woke up a little early. Played D&D a little too late last night again.
Never.
No, I always do that. Unfortunately, everybody else in my at my table can only kind of play late in the evening, and it always super screws up my schedule.
Yeah, same. Don't tell the elf. No voice chat. Yeah, we're in the recording in progress. Just because we are on YouTube today, so I have to curate the voice chat a little differently. Or can you guys not hear the voice chat? Is that what you're saying? Which is it? Let's see.
I should be able to. I can hear us.
And I can see you guys. wobbly knees. There we go.
There. Figured out how to get to the poll.
Jeez, yeah, sorry. The poll is not in a great spot. It's on the community page, which I honestly don't know how to get to. So I don't think it's going to be super effective. We might just have people yell at the chat, and we'll see which one gets the most likes.
I found it pretty easily.
Yeah,
I
it's
also
not too
can't
difficult.
watch it dynamically happen, so that's also a but.
Ways in which YouTube is luckier than Twitch.
Yep, and now it's 4 votes, 1 for every option, so that's cool.
Perfect.
That's super frustrating. Oh well.
It is pretty easy to get to. We just have to go to your home page. There's a kind of at the top-ish. There's under your icon. There's a bunch of tabs: home, video, playlists, community, channels, about. And if you click on the community tab, it's right there.
Gotcha. That was like 4 buttons too many. I'll probably do it on Twitter next time, so people can just go to the Twitter and then click on the button.
Well, the Dwarf Dark Stalker's at 50%.
Hooray!
And top in second place is the Drow Officer and half-elf Juggler.
Speaking of drawing rugby, I've been practicing Calvin style drawing. Nice. Yeah, I think what I'd like to do for a little while, because honestly, how do I say this correctly? I feel like the free draw is not giving a good representation of my art style. Possibly it's hurting my art style. because I've noticed, I've been looking at some of my older pictures, and I used to spend a lot more time and add a lot more detail, and now I'm getting very, very sketchy again. And it's like, I don't want that. I want to get back to being really, really nice lines and stuff. So I think for the next few weeks we need to either limit the number of people that can give me suggestions, which that would then be first come first serve, or I need to set up a poll like this and be like, okay, maybe what is next week's viewer suggestion, and let people suggest things, and I'll pick like the best 3 out of those that I want to draw. I'm not sure which would be better. Because if I do it that way, I'm still kind of curating what I want to draw versus letting the community decide. But maybe it's a multi-week thing. Maybe I ask for suggestions, and then the next week is the poll to see which one we choose. I'll figure it out. Should we give Rugby a hat? He used to have feathers, and I always forget to draw his feathers.
You know, I'm the only one who consistently draws him with those.
His little rugby plumage. So Lars just character died in D&D last night. And
Was it comical?
I don't know. It was kind of, no, I don't want to say it was comical at all. I think it was very, it was a little rough. It was a little rough. Still on the fence of how I feel about it. Like, I feel like it was just a throwaway because Jump Rope's character died, and I don't know. I want Sparkle to have more depth than that, but it's not my choice. I'm the DM. I don't get to make those decisions. So, but now we have 2 character deaths, and the party had to figure out what to do with only 2 people. So that was interesting. And now we'll have 2 new characters next time we play.
The guys, gods have decided, apparently.
Yeah, Jump Rope's character died too, and that was very much. She had the highest constitution in the party, and she got hit by a banshee whale, and she just kept failing saves over and over again, which is like, you have to roll a 12, and it's like, I rolled a 4. It's like, how did you roll a 4?
God.
So, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Burn those dice.
I'm sad. Yeah, I'm sad about it. But,
It's our physical dice, at least.
so if it changes people's opinions, Jump Rope's character was the dwarf Darkstalker, and then the Goblin Kensei Monk was Lars' character. So I feel like I should draw an epitaph for them.
In memoriam.
Yep, an in memoriam. So we might do both, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if today we only do one. If Lars shows up, we might give him the winning vote. We might do both. I don't know.
27%.
Hello,
on the
Dr. Random.
Dark Dwarf.
Say it again.
27% on the dwarf.
27. That means we got a lot of votes.
Six votes.
Oh, was only 6? My math is bad. Oh, 67. I thought you said 27, and I'm like, damn!
Oh, no. 67. Because there was like 2 polls, so I was like, oh, do we get to vote twice? So I put the dwarf and the goblin, and then it's like, wait.
Yeah, and then you remembered that that's a dick move. And then
No, but the thing is, they both switched to the goblin one. I was like, well, no. Well, I'll go with dwarf.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can try to vote twice, but I don't think it works. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought I could like put in 2 different answers, but because there's 2 different polls.
I was thinking about doing that with if I put up a Twitter poll, then there would be 2 places to vote, and that would give people like either I really want this one or I split between 2. Mm-hmm. So maybe that would be a good way to do that. Unrealistic body standards for rugby. Not cool. I'm gonna make this rugby look real tired. This is the rugby that I feel today.
Point to the rugby that you feel at this current moment. Ambivalent.
Crap. No, character death is hard in D&D. It's shitty. In the past, what I've done is when characters die, I give them like a, okay, what do you want to do as you're dying? But like in both cases, the characters just kind of failed their saves, and that's like not in the heat of combat. It just kind of happened, and that's something I struggled with as a DM. It's like, ooh. Do I want to give them the option to like do something grand before they go? Or Pathfinders is much different in that respect because it's more common for characters to just die in Pathfinder than it is for them to like bleed out. And
Yeah.
with the so like I don't want to spoil it too much for Lars, but Lars went out in a bit of a blaze of glory and then bled out. And so it was like this great thing happened, and then you just kind of, nope, you're dead. Sorry.
Fizzled.
Yeah. Whew. My favorite part though was like the whole thing happened and the party just kind of had to stand by and watch. And then afterwards they started doing the puzzle and they're like, "Wait, are we missing something?" And it's like, "Yeah, it was the piece that Lars had." Uh-oh. What do now?
Help.
It was for those of you that haven't been listening to the Patreon game. It was the library. So because I'm running them through the same campaign, just to kind of like playtest stuff, but they're a little behind now. And yeah, so I had 2 characters die in a library. That was fun. That was not my intent. Not my intent by any means.
Librarian totally disapproves of you wrecking their library.
The librarian was the one that killed Lars.
See, he disapproved.
Disapproval. Well, that's not necessarily true. I think Lars ended Lars. The librarian helped a little bit.
Did you drink that potion? No.
Okay, now I get it. These are great. These are great Frazetta legs, by the way. Just super simple muscle chunks. That's great.
Thanks.
I love the curve.
Is that a rugby?
Frazetta rugby. Yeah, he's just like standing on top of a tiger,
Yep.
holding a little woman on his head.
On like a field full of skulls.
Yep.
I tried to draw a realistic rugby once, and everybody was horrified. So
Yeah, Dalcor has the same problem. Dalcor really likes to put realistic detail where it doesn't belong. It looks great. It's just terrifying.
Yep.
What is this song? I love it. Alright.
It'll be awesome how I'm taking up literally half of the canvas.
It's alright.
There. Downsize a little bit. There's plenty of space. Other people can come draw too.
All the drawing.
Can I put a link? Can I put a link to this somehow? That'd be really helpful. Does that work? Can people go to that link and see the thing? Or does that freak out because it takes you to my community tab?
Where are you posting this?
I posted it on
Never mind, I
YouTube.
see
There
it
it
now.
is.
Does that work?
Let's see.
Or does that break?
It worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Put that in voice chat too. People can come vote. Vote on what you'd like to see drawn. We'll give that another 5-10 minutes and then we'll switch over and draw something sweet. I hope.
So far, it looks like your story has swayed people.
Yeah.
You may end up doing the dwarf.
I mean, poor Sparkle though. Sparkle also needs some. I wanted him to look fuzzy, and I think I made him look sweaty. Just like,
Ew. Sway Rugbear Rug. Bugbear Rug, Lord. Rugbear.
give him a little bit of coffee jitter.
I'm not drunk, I promise. I'm tired.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Everything froze. There we go.
It's usually my thing.
Oop. Yep. Nope. I'm getting the same thing you get. It's popping backwards now.
Uh-oh. Love the rubber banding.
There we go. Rugby's got the coffee sweats. We'll make his eyes a little bigger than normal.
Makes him look to me an awful lot like a chihuahua.
Yep. put a big D&D and sign on here. An ampersand. Ampersand that is also a dragon. No one knows what that is, but it's fine. People are very mean. Someone intentionally hit me with a puddle by driving and sweeping into it. And today I found out I got into my coat pocket and opened all my. Oh no! That sucks. That super sucks. I've had people do that to me when I was in high school. I was an angry kid. So that didn't help situations. I'm sorry to hear that. That is no fun. Rugby in a tree. Chivas.
I am unreasonably proud of this. Such a stupid thing I've done.
It's a glorious.
Which came out first? Whatever movie that was, or Over the Hedge?
I think Over the Hedge did.
And I think they did it better.
Because the one I posted is from Hoodwink.
Okay. I mean, those scenes are almost the same. Except this one does something way different, which I love.
For everybody who has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, we're in the Discord.
In the Discord.
Yeah, come hang out in the Discord.
I was confused there for a hot second because I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I'm sitting here drawing and I don't see anything in the YouTube chat. And I remembered, oh yeah. We're always in at least 2 places.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm wondering if people don't like that. Rugby! Welcome, Debbie. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. It is a rugby draw day, apparently. I think, let's check this. I'm pretty sure it looks like the Dwarf Darkstalker is going to go. So we'll do that. We'll do that first. Then we'll see what happens. Drow Officer's getting some love, though. That's nice.
I voted for the Drow Officer just because that's the one that I wanted to draw.
That's fine. Hello. Mr. Jonas, how are you today?
Hey!
I am okay.
Has your package arrived through customs yet?
No.
Dang it.
It's gonna take a while.
It said it'd take about 2 weeks, so it's right about that time. 2 to 4 weeks, I guess, is what they said, so.
Are you international shipping?
Yeah.
Let me actually check my account.
I guess I could check the tracking, I'm just lazy.
I could check as well, but I'm also lazy.
Yeah.
We're at an impasse.
Actually, I got a letter yesterday of something.
Your package has been destroyed. We opened it up and there was some weird shit in it.
We have incinerated it.
We have found a mask.
Yeah, I had to like declare what was in it before I could mail it, and so I was like, novelty mask. I don't know what else to put in there.
For ritual uses.
Yeah, ritual mask.
Truly amazing.
How are you today, Mr. Jonas? Hope you're doing well.
Novelty mask.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing okay. I decided to drop by because I wasn't literally doing anything else, and I had a lot of free time.
Well, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah,
That's good too. That's good to hear, I guess.
I'm good. Reading the One Punch Man webcomic. Nice. Is that still ongoing? I assume it is.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I was surprised I had time today. Usually I have things to do in the evenings, but didn't have this day. So
Nice.
yeah, how's y'all doing? It's been a while.
It's been a while. Doing all right. Working a lot. Trying to get stuff going. Had 2 characters die yesterday in a D&D game.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess Jump Rope died 2 weeks ago. A week or 2 ago. And we just had the ramifications of that kind of finish up yesterday. So now she and Lars have to roll new characters.
Hmm. Bad luck or bad decisions?
A little of both. A little of both, yeah.
Alright. It tends to be either of those that cause
Yeah.
a player character's death.
Lars thought it would be fun because I granted him temporary... They're in the library, by the way, so this will make sense to Jonas. I granted him use of Fairy Fire, to which he immediately shot at Lavina, which hit all of the wraiths and books around them.
Oh no.
And Lavina instantly got down by the Banshee Whale because of a bad roll, and then failed all of her saves, and then got wailed on by a Banshee. So, and then, yeah. And then Lars, in an attempt to... She rolled a nat 1, by the way, so that's no good. And then Lars, in response, threatened the librarian to help her, which... I don't know if you guys picked up on this last time. He's a goblin that hates goblins. So the one goblin running in there with a sword and threatening him did not go well. And Lars got deaded as well.
Oh, he was being ironic about goblin lore. Okay.
Filthy beasts. He wants to be a civilized goblin, so he tried to he made goblin books.
I see.
And Lars is
Imagine
very
that
much
little-
not a civilized goblin. But got wrecked. Got wrecked.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I guess banshees are dangerous.
Banshees shouldn't be dangerous, but they have so it's a DC 12, or you instantly drop to 0 hit points.
Yeah, if you roll like...
If you roll
Badly.
super, which Lavina did. She had a +4 or 5 to Constitution, which is why I didn't think that this would be a problem. They also have, they all have crystals so that they can revive people. And so I'm one or 2 Banshees won't be scary. Someone will go down and someone will instantly get them back up, and they're not really going to attack. They're just going to keep trying to do stuff like that and scare people. But, failed that, and then failed another save, and then rolled a natural 1. And it's you're dead. Sorry.
Oof.
Yeah. It was rough. It was really rough. I felt bad. Not my intent.
What question? Has your DM ever given you an item because of your severe bad luck to offset your bad luck?
Or like a handicap? Or
like
or
a-
golf.
My paladin got a magic item that gave them every third natural 1 they roll became a 10.
That's funny.
Now the problem is I don't roll natural 1s, I roll natural 2s.
Oh, that's even better. Why would you... The question, did they get their goal? Isn't Gentle Repose... Who's drawing that boy in the corner? He's adorable. The cleric did have Gentle Repose, but and also the cleric could have saved her, but got feared and had to run away from the Banshee. And then in that one turn, he couldn't get back to her before she failed the nat 1. It was a bummer.
But yeah, everyone says my paladin's cursed.
Makes sense to me. Constantly rolling nat 1s is no fun. I was when I played my Dragoon, I could re-roll 1s and 2s because of the
Weapon Master.
Great Weapon Master.
Or fighting action, so.
And I feel like I never rolled 1s and 2s, but I rolled 3s a lot. It's just like minimum damage. Minimum damage again. It's like, minimum damage. That instant KO is always potentially bad. It's just like the last Lorok fight I had. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point, is like, they're pretty set up to just destroy everything they come up against. And I did not think that, you know, someone with a +5 Constitution would fail 3 saves in a row. Like, that's impressive. Honestly, I thought it might kill the Goblin. The Goblin with the Cleric. Because they're kind of... Actually, no, the Goblin's got pretty good rolls, too. And with death saves, I like to give Constitution saves instead of just straight rolls. Because I feel like Barbarians and Warriors, like any kind of melee, like tough class, should have a better chance of surviving than like a frail wizard. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. So that's something else I do.
A good conclusion. Yeah. English hard. Help.
English hard, please help.
Fighting man, help.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. Lars, we were just talking about you.
I assumed when you said goblin and goblin stuff, I was like, I betcha that is my character's triumphant return. I don't know. Exit?
I guess.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't kill your character off because you felt like you had to.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
There were two things that were going on in that. Number one, as soon as I got that sword, I was like, oh yeah, he's dying by this sword. He's dying by, like, I was kind of hoping in a triumphant way, like a boss was beating the party, and then he like looks back and salutes everybody, and then like rolls a D100 and just kills himself and the boss.
Yeah, that was kind of that sword is a boss slayer.
That's exactly what that was. So for those of you, did you explain what the sword is?
I didn't. No. So Lars has had a great sword. Well, it doesn't matter. It's a great sword of Zura, and what it does is when you make an attack, you can roll any die, and it will do that much damage to the person you hit and yourself. So you can be really careful with it and just add like a D10 of damage. Or you can do what Lars did and roll a D100. And
what did you roll?
68.
Oh, fucking Christ. That's an insta-kill for your level, I think.
Yep.
So I rolled a 68 plus my normal slashing damage and modifiers and all that stuff. So the total was like 78 or so.
To which I would normally think that would be, you know, a great boss killer and not used against a librarian, but that's fine.
So yeah,
You tried to
two
fight
things.
the librarian?
Oh, he did fight the librarian.
The two things. So like, the whole scenario was really wild. I learned.
Explain it.
Yeah. Oh, did you, okay. So you have.
I gave him like a recap, but I didn't want to. I kind of want to hear what you think happened.
Well, I mean, I'll give you the behind the scenes of what was going on with Spargle in that moment. But so he learned Fairy Fire, and it just was like, oh my god, I can cast a spell after reading this book. So he just immediately did it because that's the kind of person he is. So he targets the closest person, which was Jump Rope, and not knowing that Fairy Fire is an AoE. And it targeted everything within a 20-foot cube, which included like 2 banshees that were reading books. So a single banshee wail later, two party members are dead, and then I run up, revive one of them, and by the time I get to the second one, they're already dead. And so we killed the last one. Everyone's blaming my character. My character panics and freaks out. Tries to revive the other person first with the mushroom thing, which worked on the first person, but didn't work on the second person. And then a crystal wasn't working. Everyone's like staring at my little goblin who has not dealt with death before and is not actually a very good leader or anything. But then he panics and just was like, oh crap, I remember there was a goblin who said that if you need help with anything, you come and talk to me. So he just books it all the way down to where that was. The rest of the party just stands there. So I'm outside of 60 feet. I'm getting shocked every turn as I'm frantically shaking this librarian of like, you gotta do something. You said you were gonna help us. You could do. And then he was just like, no. And I was like, you son of a bitch. So he was doing his best to try and force this goblin who he feels like could help, who said he would help and is refusing to help. And just started going at it. And turns out that goblin was pretty strong. And also, if I'm just taking damage every turn from being pulled, ended up losing. Yeah, I got down to 3 health, and I was like, okay, all right, this is how Sparkle's gonna go.
Oh man, you shouldn't have made death saves then. you should have just died.
I assume the other person should have also.
He had way more hit points than that.
Oh man, I started that fight with 46 health, and and went down to 3 pretty quickly.
Yeah. He was a higher level than you guys because he's the librarian.
So, no offense, Lars, but this makes the Gurna's party seem a lot better for some reason.
Oh yeah, you guys are pretty cohesive. Like, I think you're all in a agreement with like, fuck the drow, we're gonna get the hell out of here. Our party is kind of just all over the place.
Yeah, everyone definitely has like their own thing. So yeah, so Jump Rope just drops dead instantly. Like combat starts and she's still looking at a book. Like what? And then all of a sudden, scream dead, and failed with a +5 Constitution. Failed all of her death saves.
Yep.
And so it was definitely I think everyone wanted out. I don't think Spargle minded that much. Everyone was like, "We got to get out of here," and Spargle's like, "Me."
Yep.
I think the outside world wasn't great to Spargle, and so the idea of like being here, even though everyone doesn't seem to like it, it's kind of like the old man in the Squid Games. Everyone seems to not like dying, but he seems to be having a great time.
Have you finished Squid Game?
I refuse to watch it.
I've seen it.
Well, I had watched it and I thought it was okay.
I really liked it. So anyway, there was 2 prophecies coming together. The first was that Spargle was going to die not by anyone else's hand other than that freaking sword, and what was kind of like if I was allowed to narrate, if it was a boss and I was allowed to narrate it, what I would have done is like, yeah, so Spargle looks back and kind of salutes, and then as he cuts, you see like the fabric of reality being cut, and as soon as the blade makes contact with a person, both of them just turn to ash, and then the sword goes and spinning slides across the ground, and he just like Jedi disappears and the robe drops to the ground.
Yeah, that would have been cool if you just decided to take and just erase one of my bosses. That's not cool, Lars. Don't just randomly kill off my NPCs. I don't want to play anymore, and this guy's coming with me.
That's not at all what it was. And I was trying to think about like, okay, what's the next step? What's the next thing? But then like I was so far, like by the time I got to the librarian, I was so low on life, and there was so little. I was just like, fuck it, I only have 2 turns. I'm gonna do it fighting this guy. So that was kind of my what was my thought on that, or at least his panicked thought on that.
So, I mean, if you give your players that kind of item...
Oh, yeah, no, like, I'm totally fine that Lars did that with the sword. That's fine. I don't know. I guess I'm not upset or anything. I kind of feel like you could have just, if you didn't want to play Spargle anymore, not played Spargle anymore.
No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
It wasn't that No, I still like Spargle. I still think he's a fun character. I mean, there could be... I mean, obviously he's not going to come back, but maybe he could show up in a different campaign. Could re-roll him. But yeah, I've got my new character rolled up. He is a a sorcerer. So he's going to be a half elven sorcerer named Reynod Goldspin.
Does he have a
And
spell book?
He has. He doesn't need it.
What's that? Oh, he's a sorcerer. He doesn't need a spell book. You're right.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. He's got his focus. His focus is going to be a dragon scale, which is said to be from the very dragon that is his bloodline.
Oh, cool.
And he is damn proud of his thing. So much so that he has been spending most of his crystals on cosmetic things. So while everyone else is like, oh shit, I need to survive because I need things, he's like, I need to look good. So he is going to just have very fine clothing and accessories and things, and not like a shield or a helpful whatever, this thing.
So, should we take bets to see how long this character lasts?
And I will also tell you, this character's AC is 17.
You're a sorcerer with 17 AC?
Yes.
How did that happen?
I rolled
Sorcerer plus high dex.
I rolled my stats, and I rolled 18, 17, 17, 8, 9, 9.
Oh boy.
So he is charisma, constitution, and dexterity. And then at level 4, he got the +1 for his, so it's 18, 18, 18, 8, 9, 9. And so now he's draconic, the draconic one, so his AC is 13 plus his dex modifier. His dex modifier is 4, so he has 17 AC, and he's got +4 to constitution.
Did you do the roll 4 drop the lowest, or did you do the reroll ones?
I did roll 4, drop the lowest.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I'm gonna join you guys in drawing.
Yay.
What a draw.
I'm drawing poor Lavinia.
Who?
Put a mic in it here. I'm in your usual spot. I'll move up.
No.
Yeah.
I'll be top this time.
She's the dwarven Darkstalker. That was Jump Rope's character.
The one who died?
The one who died, yeah.
Ah, glorious. I am honestly surprised you're not.
Yeah, it's been pretty close. It's
really like a few close calls, like
Yeah.
a 2 or 3, maybe 4. Yeah. Wondering, well, where to ask. When is the next future game?
I was talking about maybe doing it next week if people are free, but I don't know who is going to be free, so we'll find out.
Depends on what day it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the problem. So I was going to put a poll out on Patreon, or we can just, I guess I can ping the blue team and see what people want.
I'd say, since it's the new year and everything, I would have Wednesdays, Thursdays, and maybe Saturdays.
You missed the conversation a little earlier, Lars, but I was talking about like dealing with character death. Because like in Pathfinder, it's a lot more prevalent for characters to just die on their feet. But in D&D, like with the whole 3 save systems, it's like, well, you're on the ground bleeding out, and now it's like, do I give them an opportunity to do or say something before they die? Or do they just like wake up and then die? Like, it feels weird to me, and I'm not sure how to do it. So I felt kind of strange with you and Lavinia dying and being like, okay, well, you're dead, so that's it. Walk away from the table, I guess.
So, you're done.
Yeah, that was it. There you're gone. And so that's something I'm gonna have to figure out, kind of how to flavor it with D&D.
I mean, if the imps took us away, we're absolutely going to be a boss fight or some kind of weird like.
No, that's not what I mean.
Some kind of weird amalgamation that's got like Lavinia's like both of our heads on top of a big.
I already know what I'm doing with that stuff. Don't worry about that. You guys fucked up real bad. But But no, I'm just talking about like the moment of character death. Like, how do people deal with it? Because I keep seeing like Critical Role did a pretty good job of like the few times people died, it became this big thing that they dealt with. But also, like I said, so with Jump Rope, Banshee Whale down, dead, right? It's like, oh, do you want to say something to the party? Do you want to do something? Whereas like Pathfinder, when all of a sudden you know you're taking fatal damage and you're still fighting the boss, I've let you do things in the past like, you're gonna die, what's your final thing? Like, what's the final thing you do? Versus like bleeding out. The Resurrection Edge down. That's pretty cool, Inferno. I'll look at that. Blaze of Glory is really fun, but like, how do you Blaze of Glory when you're just laying on the floor? Right? Like,
Death curse.
yeah,
like you cough for a second and regain consciousness just for like 6 seconds. You're like, okay.
And then like with Pathfinder, we usually do like hero points, which I'm like, oh, you're about to die. Either give me your hero points or use them, right? Like you can burn your hero points to do something cool. And I just, in that situation for last night, it felt really like, man, I don't know. I don't feel like your character would have much of an option. Like you're kind of already doing the best you can, and then that's it. I think you're just gone.
Yeah, it's hard unless the people around it make it a big thing. So by the way, I'm planning on having, if I want the introduction to my character to be like when they start the next room. My character would just be like in the room with them. So not in the hub, but when they're like, okay, like the two of them go on a crystal and they're like, man, sure hope we find another person. Mm-hmm. And then my character randomly joins them.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So okay. So upon, I mean, like, do you want me to know? Like, do you want to hear what my introduction is going to be, or do you want to see it like live?
I mean, is it going to make me upset?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, then you can wait if you want. Then that's fine.
Okay. It's.
So I come in and I have 50,000 gold and a dragon, and I'm like, I'm a badass. Check this out, and I kill both of them. And it's like, no.
Played with that person.
Let's pump the brakes. You get either 50,000 gold or a dragon. You know, what'd be great though, like if you did spend, his crystals on gold so that he could appear richer, just like a sack of gold, just be like, oh yes, I've got gold. Like, but
I mean, that would make more sense than anything else.
Yeah, I think that would be a great thing for like, because it's meaningless to have gold in the tower,
right.
but to him it is useful to have, just the idea of him having gold is important to him, and so yeah, actually that's cool. Yeah, I'll do that. He's got a sack of gold.
Anyone got any suggestion?
Suggestion?
Yeah.
Let's see what the poll is saying. Oh, I'm sorry, the YouTube chat got closed. I'm sorry, Helbin. How are you doing? Bri, welcome. Sparkle in the void. Gotta get the drip. Mushrooms is a good suggestion.
Mushrooms.
Drow option. You could draw the Goblin Kensei monk that uses a greatsword if you wanted for his epitaph.
Pretty cool.
Kensei monk with a greatsword? That's interesting.
Yeah. I allow it.
That's cool. I guess I'll draw a mic on it and then maybe the epitaph. Warframe has ruined me because whenever someone says epitaph, I'm like, oh yes, the secondary.
What is the first one, like a coffin or a pre-log?
I don't know. Like a weapon secondary.
Yeah, but no, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It was a joke.
I didn't get the joke, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just ignore it. I assumed it was a joke, so like, okay, I am too finished to understand this joke. Or just dumb. That's also an option. Oh well. Maybe my internet is just bad nowadays.
Also, I remembered. I figured some stuff out. It's been so long since we played the first levels. I kind of confused Blue Team and the team we were playing with last night. I figured out why people dissolve in the tower again. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh.
I'm not gonna tell you, Jonas. It's a secret.
No.
But I had a little confusion. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I am fire, I am death. The gold coin dragon. Yeah, it would make a lot of sense if your character was obsessed with gold. Guess I missed the suggestion window. Yeah, sorry, I posted that a long time ago. If you'd like to suggest something, Jonas is looking for stuff to draw.
Yeah.
I'm trying to spend way more time. For those of you that just showed up, normally when we've been doing the viewer suggestion, I have to just pump out a whole bunch. So I think I'm going to start limiting it to like 2 or 3. So I can really spend time drawing one thing. Just because I think that's going to help me improve as an artist and kind of get my feedback of drawing random shit. So we're going to try that for a little bit. There's a poll if people want to vote, but it's kind of we're already working on the Darkstalker. So now it's between a Drow Officer or a Goblin Kensai as the next thing we draw. And I think next week we'll probably have people suggest things maybe on Monday, and then we'll vote until Wednesday, and then we'll draw those. I think that would probably be more fun. We'll try that out. Or we can have people suggest things, like give their suggestions early and then have people vote on those. That might be the best way to do it.
I could give a good use for the video suggestion tab.
Is that the video suggestion tab doesn't exist anymore, does it? I think I deleted that.
It still does. Video
What?
ideas.
Get the fuck out of here.
Though it's under Patreon only.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I thought about posting something on it earlier this week. I was like, nah.
Figure it doesn't really matter, and you're just gonna do whatever it is you want to do. Because I remember suggesting Strix ages ago.
Yep.
It hasn't happened yet.
Nope.
Just a suggestion, unfortunately.
Yeah, suggestion is not. I've had to say this to people on YouTube as well, because when you ask for suggestions, people get upset when you don't do them. And it is. It's just because like Strix I love Strix. Strix was actually one of the first races I wanted to do. Like I was like, I should make a Strix video, and then I spiraled off of it because Strix are hard to draw.
Yes.
They take a lot of time, and yeah. So I would like to do that one day, but that's gonna take me a while. So
Yeah, I'm not actually bitching about it.
I did the I drew the Eric Kokra video, and that killed me. And like, I'm gonna have to think about the Strix in the future.
But it's true. They're hard to draw.
What is a Strix again?
In Pathfinder, it's pretty much a harpy.
Yeah.
It's a player race harpy.
Okay, I thought it was
They're
a very
like-
different thing.
Yeah. In maybe they're like basically Owl Aarakocra, right?
Yeah, because
Actually,
of the Magic the Gathering. Strixhaven is effectively they just kind of reinvented
They're just
it.
called Owlin, though, in the book.
Right, but like Strixhaven, I don't think is referring to a harpy race, because the Strix
No.
in Magic the Gathering are like a race of Owlkin people.
Yeah, because Strix is like Greek for owl,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Anyone ever played the
and
game?
It specifically comes from a reference to vampirism.
Yes,
Okay.
because Striga and Strix are.
Okay, that's why I was confused.
I really like the Pathfinder Strix race. They are not vampiric,
No.
but I like the idea that like
Dang.
they're very secluded mountain dwellers that are very racist against humans specifically.
Understand.
At least according to the lore, yeah, it's understandable. People suck, right? Anyway, not that you should ever excuse racism. It's not cool under any circumstances.
Unless it's in a fantasy game.
I mean, like
Then everyone does it.
adds realism to the setting, right?
It makes sense as well, technically. You would hate trolls.
Sure.
I would.
But I mean, back to the Strix, before we get real political here, which was not my intent.
That's more my fault.
Their entire racial setup is all about really high perception. Like, they get bonuses to perception. They have every kind of vision, pretty much. Not true sight, not blind sight, but yeah, it's their whole kit is based on sight and perception, and they're really cool. They're a lot of fun to play.
Yep. I think they get bonuses against humans, though, right? Like,
Well, yes, they do.
they just naturally have favorite enemies, which I think that's a better way to look at it. Like, favorite enemies makes more sense than just like saying like, oh, they just hate all humans. Like, well, they fight a lot of humans. Like, that's the thing to look at.
Yeah.
Like dwarves being very good against goblinoids, orcs, and giants.
Yeah, like looking at, if you think about the way the ranger class works, I think a lot of people are like, I hate goblins, and so like that's their favorite enemy. But like, that doesn't necessarily mean that you just like hate all goblins. It just means you're really good and like knowledgeable and have experience doing that. And so you could definitely be a human with humans as your favorite if like all you do is fight in a gladiator pit, right? Like, you have no ill will towards other fighters. It's just that's what you're good at.
Like a hunter.
Yeah. But you can be a racist asshole if that's what
You want to play?
if that's what you want to play, I guess.
We're
That
gonna judge
fits in
you.
well with your-
Don't bring your kinks to D&D.
Oh, he's the king.
I don't know, man.
Well, I will judge that one though.
At the end of the day, what's the saying?
I don't know. What saying are you looking for?
Can't tell if you two are gonna fight or fuck.
Oh.
I am not familiar with that.
At some point in time, when you get so mad at something, it just becomes passion, and you got to deal with it. Like,
One way or another.
one way or the other. You're obsessing about something.
This is fair.
Those are both really good Strixes. I like those pictures.
Yeah, I'm looking at their Wikipedia article, and it's like, makes sense they have a distrust of humans. They live next to Chaliacs, demon worshippers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like, makes perfect sense why they would distrust them.
This mushroom boy looks too sad.
He needs his mushroom buddies.
A mushroom buddy right below him is just creepy as fuck. Do I love making such weird looking myconids.
Myconids are weird, so I don't see anything wrong with that.
Kind of reminds me of something out of Del Toro's imagination.
Ooh, thank you.
That's pretty good.
You're
compliment.
welcome.
I hope nobody minds. I'm just not gonna do a sexy mushroom lady.
I can do that.
Let Jonas kill the sexy mushroom lady.
I can do that. That's my thing.
Yeah, stop stealing Jonas's thing.
Please do steal it. I'm keen on seeing it.
In other news, I don't know if Rook has talked about this or not, but I started a D&D club at the middle school I work at.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been interesting. So to start, I thought, like, I got the idea from there was a girl in the counselor's office who was scratching her hand, and
By the way, you are on the internet, just so you're aware.
Yeah, no, I know, I get
it.
She was scratching her hand, and the hand that was doing the scratching already had a big, like, scab on it. And so just scratching the other hand, and I was like, okay, so this is a very anxious person. Like, started talking to them, tried to get them to, to stop and look at me and talk to me, but just, like, really, all of my typical tricks weren't working. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, I gotta pitch all that out the window. Let's talk about something else. And I was like, okay, I'm also into Magic the Gathering. She was like, nah. I'm like, I'm into anime. She's like, nah. I'm like, I'm also into Dungeons and Dragons. And, like, mid-scratch, she immediately stops and, like, looks up, and she's like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm into Dungeons and Dragons. She was like, really? Do you have a character? I was like, well, I finished a campaign. I was DMing. I do have characters, though. I'm kind of doing this thing. And she immediately went into all of the characters that she has and all the campaigns and all the things, and she wished she could play more, but it doesn't work really well with schedules and yada yada. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, tell you what, I need students. I'm going to look into what I need to do to start a club, and I need you to find some friends, get them together, and sign up for this club. She was like, who would DM? I was like, I could DM, that's fine. We'll probably only have like 6-7 people join this club, so I think we're okay. So, set up the club, got it going, got 5, 6, 7 people, and I was like, all right, cool, all right. And then it accelerated real fast, and suddenly all sorts of kids started joining. And I charged $10 per person to join, just so I could buy some supplies. And I ended up with 50 people joining this club.
That's enough to buy like 2 books.
Yeah.
So
training DMs, I assume.
So then I was like, so like first session comes, I have no idea what I'm doing. I was like, okay, hey everyone, raise your hand if you've ever DM'd before. And 4 kids raised their hand. I was like, oh shoot. Because okay, raise your hand if you've played before. 4 more hands go up. And I was like, congratulations, you are all DMs. So I gave them all. I was like, so okay. Well, let me back up a little bit. There was a store nearby that I knew I needed supplies, and I was like, okay, so I need dice, I need stuff. So I just called the store, and I was like, hi, I work at the middle school. I want to start a D&D club. I want to buy supplies from you. It'd be cool if we could kind of partner a little bit, where if you would allow it, you could, give me a reduced price on a couple of things, and then I would plug your store, tell them to be interested in it. And she was like, absolutely, that sounds wonderful. So she sold me dice at half price, and then I bought the Essentials kit, which is perfect because it comes with everything the DM needs. It's got a DM screen, it's got like DM dice, that like 4d6 plus 2 d20s plus 1 of each of the other ones. So
hashtag not a sponsor.
And so so I just started buying all those things, and then I set up this little mission. I was like, okay, today is just about you learning the basics of combat. So DMs, just make sure to teach them the basics of combat. I did this little thing. It was like a 1-room dungeon with 6 goblins in it, and they had to kill all the goblins. And then I just told everyone to go, and I was like, everyone just find a table, try and have equal numbers at each table. Well, one table had 11 kids, another table had 3. It was a bit of a cluster, and I've never seen so much running in a D&D game before. Just nat 20s were just laps and laps around the table, and laps around your neighbor's table, and laps around the other neighbor's table, and then you sit back down and then you roll your dice. nat ones were even worse. A kid got a nat 1, I hear him just go, 1, no! And he gets up to run, and his foot catches on the seat, and he falls to the ground. And both of his buddies on either side immediately get up and just dogpile on him. So then there's 3 boys all on the ground just rolling around going, ah!
Mass hysteria.
What?
It was...
What kind of school are you going?
Yeah. One kid kept running back and forth. Yes, I mean, this is 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, so they're somewhere between 11 and 14.
What kind of 11 and 14 years are those? That sounds like a 3rd grade.
Oh, you haven't been in a middle school lately, have you?
No, not in
Never been in
7
American
years.
school, so.
Because I can tell you that that absolutely is middle school behavior.
Not in mine, maybe. No, I didn't have many friends in middle school, so...
It's probably just normal. Like when you are a 7th grader, it's just normal for you to be like, oh yeah, kids are gonna jump up and yell randomly, and they're gonna grab a backpack and slam it against the ground when they get mad. Like they're very much elementary school students. They're just a little bit bigger.
Oh, I guess. I guess I don't remember the 7th graders being in my middle school like that, but. Good.
I think when your perception of middle school is when you were a middle schooler, so you have a pre-teens understanding of what normal is, and so I wonder if that's. I mean, that could be. It could not be. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing.
Oh, that's well, what you just described is usually considered the kid who bothers the teacher all the time, the annoying kid. We had like 1 or 2 per class, basically. Though this might be a Finnish culture difference as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Because if you're acting like that, you're considered very childish.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
I mean, it was yeah. I think it was just exciting, and then afterward, like kids would run up to me and be like, "Guess what? I was doing this thing, and then I rolled a 1, and then I hit my friend in the face with a mace." I was like, "Cool, buddy." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's awesome. Head back to your table. I bet you it's still your turn." Runs back to just runs back, or someone else was like, "Oh, guess what happened? I did this thing, and then I jumped over a thing, and then I killed a goblin." I'm like, yeah, good job. So then I had to wait for everyone to leave. Part of a club is I have to wait until everyone leaves, and so we had to leave and be done, and then it was we had. So I was sitting there and some people were talking. They were just like really excitedly talking, like, "What happened to your table? Oh, cool, I did this and this. What about your table?" It's like, "I did this." And so they were kind of understanding that even when people do the same mission, it was a different outcome.
That's cool.
And then there was one kid who was kind of sitting by himself, and I saw him get up and walk over to the car once his mom arrived. And then he opened up the back door, and just as soon as he did, he was like, "Guess what, Mom? We were in a dungeon, and there was these things, and all of a sudden we started fighting this guy." And then the door shuts, and I couldn't hear him anymore. But I was just like, okay, that kid, he enjoyed himself. He had a good time.
That's good.
That is good.
So it was, and then I've had teachers who like to stay in the room and just kind of like stand around on the peripheral, kind of lean up against a pillar and just watch, because they're like, it's so rare the last 2-3 years to have like a sense of normalcy of just kids having fun being kids and just doing something. So a lot of teachers have just been watching it as a way of kind of getting back to loving what they used to do and seeing the excitement and the the interest and the passion in these kids. So I'll have 8 or so teachers that'll just kind of hang out for the first 10-15 minutes of a D&D session and just take a look.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad people are actually getting into it.
I was amazed at how much like outreach there was from the community too. Because like the woman who I was talking to at the game store, she has been tremendous as far as like getting resources She talked to the guy who is like head of outreach at Wizards of the Coast for D&D in Washington and Oregon, and gave me that guy's personal email address. She's like, "Oh yeah, I know him. Here's his personal email address." And I was
maybe
like,
you shouldn't share
okay.
that with the internet. Not the email address, just like that's don't get her in trouble.
So this guy ended up giving me a bunch of free resources. He ended up like, "Oh yeah, here's this. Like I've taught probably 1,200 kids how to play this game. Like here's what you need to do. Here's the best part for doing this. Here's this." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, absolutely, sure, great, perfect." Like I just took everything. He was like, "Do you want resources?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Here's a bunch of things, and here's a bunch of character sheets, and here's a bunch of this thing." And I was like, "Great, awesome, thank you so much." So it was pretty. It was pretty amazing how much outreach there was in the community itself, and just everyone. I've had a lot of parents who called me and were just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this. Thank you so much. Like I did this so much when I was in high school, back in the '80s, and like I was so exciting. It was some of the most fun I've ever had. And like, do you need a parent volunteer?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, we can't. We're not allowing parent volunteers right now because of COVID." He was like, "Okay, well, if ever that changes, you let me know." And I was like, I will.
That's interesting. That's cool to do.
Yeah.
Because like at the same point in time, like they could just be playing D&D with their kids. Like, why?
Yeah, if your kid's into it and enjoys it, yeah, you could totally start your own thing with your kid. I think he's probably tried to do it with his kids, and like they were like, "Oh, Dad, you're lame." But then they're like somebody just like their dad, but not their dad. He was like, "Wow, this guy's cool."
Sounds about right. Yes.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm about done with this.
Fuck, I've drawn.
YouTube chat, give me a class for this mushy boy.
We need a mushy boy. Oh, you can hear Drew today. What am I saying?
You just are so used to having to repeat everything the Discord says.
Yep. Breaks my brain a little bit. See if I can.
Actually, Rook, that reminds me of something.
Okay.
I want to commission you for something.
Oh, okay. Is it expedience? Because I'm kind of busy.
No.
I have a
like
list.
sometime over the next year.
All right, cool. I have a big project I'm working on right now. It's probably going to take me till February, and then I'm going to try to start picking up commissions again at the end of this month.
Yeah. So I guess two things. The first thing would be, Annika has started taking drawing lessons, and she has really taken to it. And so she is she's applying for an art school. That's a magnet academy. So it's a specific art. It's an art school. So they say if you want sports, don't come here. Like we don't have PE. We have dance and we have walking, and they have they have art centered PE. They don't have dodgeball.
I like dodgeball.
So first thing, if you'd be up for like some kind of Zoom art lesson thing with her, I'm sure she would love one or two of those.
Ooh, that's a thing.
But then the thing that I'm gonna commission you for, aside from that, it would be the basement. We're calling it the Rumpus Room, after where the wild things are.
Okay.
And there's a line in Where the Wild Things Are that says, "Let the wild rumpus begin."
Gotcha.
And we want a poster of that. So not like the specific page that comes from, but just like a text thing with a cool kind of Where the Wild Things Are-ish background. That's just fantasy-based wildness.
I'll have to talk to you about that later.
Yeah. And this is commission, so you'll get paid. But yeah, we'll talk later.
Got Cleric of the Land and Warlock. Druid, what are you going for?
Like both of those. I have no idea how to indicate either.
How about... Oh shit, I've forgotten the name of this.
Orchard?
I mean, that's pretty heavy. Pretty obvious, I guess.
Bit on the nose.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have to add anything to him for that, though.
yeah, that's the thing. Let's see. He looks like a... He's a rogue. He will stab you in the back.
It's a rogue.
Yeah, he's a
Rogue
scout
warlock.
rogue.
I'd like to play a mage barbarian, please. What? What race?
Blood Ranger?
Nope. I'm a mage barbarian. Those are the two things I picked. It's like, that's not how D&D works, but okay.
It doesn't really work that well together, but if you make it work, I'll be impressed.
What's your race? Warlock. That's not good.
Did you read the book? No. Oh, okay.
I do need to think about getting classes going, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. I think it'd be fun to do something like that for the Patreons, like a once a month, just sit down and draw. But like we do that every week and no one shows up, except for you four, which thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm like that bad student that only shows up every once a month.
That's kind of what I'm
like
worried
that,
about.
actually.
Like I don't know if the Patreons would actually want that as the downside to it.
It depends on the Patreon member, I believe. Yeah. And also, I think some would want to, but are they daring enough to join?
Yeah, I think if we did it that way, it would definitely be like either a members only thing, or we just wouldn't record it. You know, like it would just be like a monthly classroom. Maybe the Zoom call would be a good way to do it. But
the schedule can also be pretty rough because you usually do things like in the day and the afternoon. Most people don't have time to sit down. Like they can have us on and chatting while they're doing something else. But like if they're going to sit down and pay attention, like you have a class that requires some time commitment. I think a lot of people can't really do with no notice.
Yeah, that's true too. And so, like, that's kind of the problem with setting those things up, is, like, trying to figure out all the logistics of that is hard. And I know people like, I don't think, not Dave Raposo, that's not right. Dave Wilkins. He started a set doing that, that's instead of doing, like, straight YouTube videos, he just started selling classes. And so what he would do is he would just set up, basically, time schedules, and then when you signed up for the class, you would choose which time slot you picked up, and like that's the way he did it. And it was like, so that's a lot more. Like that would be a lot more than one class a week or a month. That would be like 30 or 40 classes, and I don't think I could do that on YouTube. But maybe once I'm done with these big projects, maybe that's the direction we'll go. Maybe we'll do something like that with one of the Patreon tiers being, basically private tutelage, or maybe we'll set up video classes where people can draw the same thing and then we talk about them on the next video. That could be really fun.
So, I'm assuming, how is the community contributors gonna affect this?
Communities contribute? What do you mean?
Those of us who are not patrons, but you have labeled in the Discord as community contributors.
Oh, you don't have to contribute anything. Are you saying you want to participate for free, or are you saying you want to be a teacher?
I would be an awful teacher, but I don't mind trying.
I would love to be a teacher.
The reason why I learned how to be a teacher is because a lot of people actually ask for my thoughts and advice, and I'm like, ugh.
You got a pretty unique style, Jonas, and I think it's worth emulating.
Yeah. My problem is I don't know how to put things into words, because I've realized I describe pictures how they feel to me. When I look at something, I'm like, okay, this feels like this. Feels like you should add more this.
That's not conducive
like,
to a...
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, okay, this is an awful... I always say, this is an awful way of explaining this. I don't know what I'm doing. But because of how much I've practiced. I just go by feel.
Sure.
And that's how I explain things, and I go in depth more.
There is a thing that you can learn called Lars, maybe you can help me out with this, but dang it, I always screw this up. It's not visual vocabulary, that's not the right term, but maybe it is. Where's Dalcor when I need him? We had a huge conversation about this a few years ago.
Well, keep going. Maybe I'll catch what you're thinking.
The concept, and one of the things we had to learn, Dalcor and I had to learn when we were in college, was basically how to give good critique. And part of good critique is less about like, I don't like this is bad. And it's more about using visual communication, like visual descriptive words to say what's wrong, right? Like, it's not, I don't like your mushroom, because that's not constructive. Like, that's your opinion. Great. That doesn't help anybody. But it's like, this shape is great. Like, how you're getting these curves, like, those are things that are visually descriptors of what you're talking about. Line weight, shape, volume, contouring. Like, just all of those kind of languages help you teach better, because you can be very specific in what you're dealing with. Like, your composition's too dark. It's like, okay, what part of it is too dark? Like, your shadows are not dark enough. That's a much better thing to say, right? Like, so being very visually descriptive when you're communicating can be very helpful for art, because it's a visual medium. Like, you can also add those things, like, you can talk about why you choose those visual things based on your feelings. Like, I'm trying to get something across, or I want the viewer to feel something different. But if a lot of it is intuition, learning how to talk about your intuition visually, that's kind of what I was trying to say. Talking about things visually is tough, but that's how you teach. That's a great thing to try to learn. So that's
something I would like to actively learn, because
a great way to practice that is to try to help people, is to try to teach people, right? Like, that's the whole premise behind it. So maybe we'll start doing that.
I like what you're doing, but I feel like you can make it rounder.
Yeah, rounder. What does that mean? Rounder.
Well, I actually never say people you can make it rounder. It's the other people who tell me.
I was the one. Yeah, I was the one that yelled at Jonas to do that.
It's still hilarious.
I think Andreas might have done that too, and then I just jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andreas was definitely part of that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
One of us started it, and the other one did not help.
I remember you.
One started the fire, the other threw the gasoline on.
I might have started it, and then Andreas took it to the next level, but
yeah, because I remember.
I'm pretty sure I just wanted you to make. You were trying to draw like a lamp, and I wanted like an orb lamp. That's what I.
Yeah, you wanted to know. I drew a lantern. It was like rounder. I was like, I'm like, what do I make rounder? The creature or the lantern?
And
then
you disappeared.
Yeah,
and
well, I was at work.
Everything.
So I was only listening to. And I also didn't really care. I was just trying to give you shit, because like lanterns don't need to be round.
Yeah, so like, you just say everything. We're like, everything how? So I continue, and you come
I think I
back.
remember this now.
And you come back and like rounder.
The point is, there was no clarification, and you disappeared, and like, just fine. I'm not trying to guilt you for that, but like, you disappeared, and that gave Andreas the opening to start shit.
Yeah, and you just saying rounder and just leaving, like. Then you say everything. I'm like, what? Do you mean the lantern or do you mean the creature? Everything. I'm like, what the fuck? Then you come back later, like 10 minutes, and like, oh yeah, I meant the lantern. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Then I drove through the circular lantern.
More! I was channeling my inner Game Grump. More round. More rounder.
Yeah, sure made that, was it a Naga? Very round.
It might have been a Naga, yeah. Once again, I didn't really care. I was just trying to egg you on.
Well, you sure succeeded. Which I don't mind. It was just very confusing for me.
Jonah's banana shape over something. Yeah, no control over it.
I mean, it led to a pretty awesome meme, so...
Interesting. Why am I such a memeable person?
Everybody's a memeable person. You just... the misfortune of
Rounder!
knowing too many people who pick up on the fact.
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know how to make Lavinia rounder. I guess I could start over.
I also love my face emotes I have nowadays.
I haven't seen you stream in a little while. I think I'm not on the right time.
Yeah, I haven't in a little while. I haven't had the time for it, and my internet's been garbage. Well, since it's the new year, and I have, I think, one thing scheduled tomorrow, I might have time now.
Nice.
I hope I have my settings still. It's been a while.
Here we go. We're going rounder.
How rounder?
We're going mountain dwarf rounder.
Oh. I'm actually playing a mountain dwarf sorcerer.
I'm gonna give her a
Making
beard.
use of that armor and weapons training for the
I was gonna
sorcerer.
say armor and weapons.
Yeah. You know, since sorcerers don't really get any proficiencies with armor and weapons.
You know, something I didn't really want to happen or expect to happen in the library was like a kind of a pivotal point to upgrade the party. Like everybody gets new abilities and kind of throw some curveballs in there and learn some spells and stuff. And that was supposed to be spread out across 4 people, and instead it was given to 2. So that's fun.
Ooh.
That's a problem. Now, Kevin the Necromancer is once again super powerful.
Oh, considering his name is Kevin.
He was the second you gave him a sword that adds 2d6 fire to
He
it. Like,
earned that Flameberg. He fucking fought the Lizard Man and won. That was great.
yeah, but he kind of weakened him a little bit.
Was
Oh,
the lizard man
you
out
got
of his
that
cage?
sword.
Jonas
I
got
got
the
that.
axe. Jonas,
I got the
I
axe.
got it.
didn't you get the
I
axe
have
from
the
the
axe.
Lizard Man? Or from the...
No, he gave me a chunk of meat.
Oh, he did give you a chunk of meat, that's right. Kevin bet him everything he had for a sword, and Kevin won. Very, very barely. Like, it was...
Yeah, I just wanted to fight him. That's legit. It's like, hey, dude, you up for a fight, dude? And then we just fought it out. Girls just wants to fight.
Did you win?
I think I did.
I don't know
I-
if you did. I think
I
that's
might
why
have
he
lost.
gave you the meat, because you lost.
Might be, because I remember I fucking critted Snick to oblivion at first.
you slapped him across the room. That was pretty great.
It was like 40 damage. I was like, oh, that's a nice crit. Considering how like weird and skewed Gurnall's like character build is, it was a surprise. They're like a warlock fighter, Eldritch Knight. But you don't
Alright.
expect the biggest brute to be also one of the smarter ones in the group, so
Yeah.
Alright, team, I need to head on out. I need
Alright.
to help someone with some math homework. So I'm going to do that.
Good luck, buddy. I'll catch you later.
Alright.
Thanks for hanging out today.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
have a good one.
Alright, there's the rounder. Hey, Rook, how's it going? Me? It's going pretty good. How are you today? What time is it here? 11:30. We got about half an hour left.
According to Inferno, Jonas won, and then you had to level up the Lizard Man.
Jonas won, and then you had to level up the lizard. Oh, that's right. No, you're right.
Yeah, you realized that.
I realized he was like 4 levels too low.
Bit unfair.
That happened one other time too, because I made a character and then I like forgot to attach their armor, like some other stuff. And I was just like still learning how D&D Beyond worked, and I was like, shit.
Yeah. Also,
You weren't supposed to win that fight.
yeah, I felt that as well. Actually, I was like, I probably shouldn't be winning that, but.
Yeah, he's a big lizard man that can solo rooms, so he's a big beefy boy.
You don't have your cage, lizard man.
So we got 30 minutes left. I'm pretty happy with this piece.
I am doing a typical Jonas Sips thing with this character.
Tiny Jonas Sips in the corner. Yeah, I don't know. Should we draw the next piece, or should we do maybe 1 or 2 viewer suggestions? What do you guys think?
Whatever. I just started on the drow, so
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm perfectly willing to drop that if people want to do for suggestions.
How many people showed up for the vote? I got 20 votes. That's pretty good.
24 voters.
Yeah.
At least
Really?
from what I'm seeing on mine.
I like that. I think we'll probably do that. We'll spend some time, and then now we've got a little extra time. So if people have suggestions, I'll take like the first 2.
You should do like the voting thing, maybe like the day before.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to put up something like a week in advance. The problem is though with YouTube community, like I've noticed people vote on something, and then if they don't see it within the first like 6 hours, it just goes away. So I don't know.
YouTube community stuff from channels I'm not even subscribed to. I'm like, why am I getting hentai on my YouTube tab? Not even joking about
Searches.
that.
I get a lot of science shit.
The science show.
Well,
Yeah, no.
which is fine, but it's just like I'm not interested in talking about it.
That's what I got.
Jonas been a fun little character. Actually, I also realized my longest-lived character ever is my first and only wizard I played.
Badger
Well,
foot.
and I was like, how is the wizard? The wizard, my longest-lived character.
Same here. No. I borrowed it.
Wizards are little shits that hide in the back and never get hit. So I mean, that's just
Yes, I was.
Uh,
My gnome was always in the back.
I knew a couple gnomes that like hid in the backpacks of Goliaths. So yeah, like wizards. I'm always surprised when wizards die after like level 2. Because it's like, level 1, you get hit by a kobold, you die. After that, they're just like, I'm gonna hide in the back and cast shield. It's like,
Yep.
okay.
Or mage armor or
Yep.
something.
I accidentally fell off of a tower. Oh, but I have Featherfall, so it's fine.
well, of course you do. You'll die if you don't have shield, mage armor, featherfall. What else? Invisibility is a requirement.
I want to run a Star Wars without numbers campaign sometimes. That could be fun. Yeah. I think wizards just have the really good potential to stay alive, whereas barbarians, it's like anything that will eat through their hit points makes them die. It's just like, what are you gonna do in this situation? It's like, can I absorb it with hit points? Yes, I'm gonna do that. that's my only option. I fall off a building. I'm just gonna eat it with the hit points. There's a Tarrasque. I'm gonna eat it with the hit points.
Yeah, as a wizard, you can't afford to take damage because, like, I think the druid has double my wizard's HP, and I'm like, I get hit once by like some random schmuck assassin, deal 10 damage. I'm like, oh, that's 20% of my HP gone. It's like, it hurts.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see.
Weirdly enough, though,
Blade Singer Wizard. That's gonna be fun.
my wizard, he's too close to the front lines often actually.
That doesn't surprise me.
I should have double checked the gender of the drow before I started making him a dude.
That's fine. Do whatever you want.
Is he a dude?
Yeah, he's
Are they a dude?
actually, so, I don't know if Lars is still here or not. I don't want to spoil it, so maybe I won't talk about it in case Lars is listening. But,
Lars, plug yours.
I'll just say it this way. The blue team has met Jump Rope's new character because she decided to play him again. So that'll be really fun. Maybe red team met Jump Rope's character.
I think it was not the team I'm not in.
Yeah, that might be the case.
Because I don't remember a drow character. If we're talking about
Yeah.
I only ever met one drow character.
What kind of race would what kind of race would a badger be? What kind of class?
A badger.
Class?
Yeah, a badger.
I was gonna think of like a burly barbarian.
All right.
Could also be a Dex barbarian.
I like badgers. I've been in a badger mood lately.
Kind of lumber.
Yeah, that's also true.
We'll go a little rounder.
God damn it, I can't help but laugh.
When in doubt, rounder badger. That's the. Ooh, that doesn't sound right.
When in doubt.
When in doubt, get real Pudge. Did I ever tell you guys about Pudge the raccoon?
No.
No.
That's the first.
So, Jump Rope. This is one of the first times I was DMing for Jump Rope and her friends. I think maybe this was one of our campaigns. I don't remember. Either way, Jump Rope was playing a wizard, and her familiar was Pudge the raccoon, and she wanted to just make it so that Pudge would steal everything. And I'm like, okay, I'll take care of that. And so anytime there was loot or anytime the raccoon was near anybody, I would roll sleight of hand and it would just steal shit out of people's pockets. And so towards the end of the game, she'd stop and just be like, I'm gonna see what Pudge has. And she would just like empty her pockets and just like, we have like 500 gold here. It was just like, it was just shit.
That's great.
Yeah, and it was really fun because it had like a plus 21 to sleight of hand because it's Pathfinder.
And it's a raccoon.
And it's a raccoon, and it just constantly crawled all over the party, and nobody cared. So I was just like, doop, 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 doop. And I think it saved her life once because she's like, I don't have anything. I'm like, you should check your pockets. And she pulled out like a dagger, and she's like, that'll work. And I was like, there you go.
I'm gonna steal that idea now.
Yeah, Punch
Sorry,
the Raccoon
Captain.
is great.
I'm stealing that, Captain.
Just a fat old raccoon. A fat old trash panda.
I remember my only Pathfinder character that I actually got to play. I think they had like a rat companion or like a mouse. Wasn't like full on familiar, but because they were an urchin, so they were like, you have a pet mouse or rat. Like, okay. Nowhere as fun as a waddling trash panda.
What's the symbol of the queen?
Symbol of Zura, I believe, is a cross with a line over it. Let me look.
I remember more violence in the symbol for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's got a few more lines in it. Okay.
I said violence, but
Yeah. I agree. The lines that are in here are much more violent. Okay, follow me here.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it goes boop 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 boop. And then it do this. But these are sharp.
Ah, okay. It is more violent.
It's very violent. It's very jagged.
Edgy. Right?
Super edgelord symbol, yeah.
Who the fuck is pinging me?
Just needed for emblem on the right breast of his.
That's one mechanic girl. How many more shall I draw?
A whole colony of them.
The whole
You
colony.
like-
A colony of sexy mushroom girls? That sounds inappropriate for YouTube.
Yeah.
It probably is too much. I should probably stop
You
here.
added the sexy mushroom bit. I just said the colony of them.
Would Jonas draw a non-sexy mushroom?
Sure.
Yes, I can.
Don't
I
lie
drew
to
some earlier.
yourselves. Don't lie to the people of this fine YouTube.
I drew some earlier. Look at this. Look at those things.
They're all mole penises, so
So
they're all
technically,
sexy no matter what.
depends on what you're into, I guess.
Have you seen that comic about why all the monster girls look like sexy
Yes, I have. I love
sexy
it.
ladies? Yeah, and they're like, the humans are abomination because their males look like spongy females. Kill them all! And that's why all the monsters try to kill everybody. Because the human males look weird.
I mean, that's I guess that's an assumption to come to, considering everything else.
It's
It's
very,
like
yeah,
that.
very dramatically different.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start over with the badger. Because I feel like I drew it wrong.
You need a Badger reference?
No, I got
You
I
have-
got a few. I started drawing an aardvark. There's a
That
really
could work.
Druid. Who's the guy that draws all like the Norman Rockwell? I think.
Oh no, we had this conversation. I can never remember his name either.
The guy that drew the diner. Someone put a picture of an aardvark throwing a chair at the diner window, and it's one of my favorite like.
Find it.
What the hell is it called? Vandalized art pieces.
You mean improved art pieces?
I've been making a plant-based Warforged. Do you think that's a doable? Oh yeah, I mean, there's a basically you can go watch my. Sorry, that was 5 sentences. I'm so sorry. Go watch my.
Goran video?
Yeah, Goran video. GH. Goran. But I think it's labeled Plant Folk, is why my brain stalled out. Go watch my Plant Folk video. That talks about being a construct. Like, that's another thing to do. You can definitely play it that way. Basically, with the Warforged, you would just, instead of, depending on what you want to do, you could change your, like, armored defense. You could have a wooden body so that you may be vulnerable to fire. Or you could be viney, so you're not vulnerable to fire. Like, there's a lot of fun ways you can play with it. And I don't think it really changes the character build at all. You just kind of pick to do something different, and then
I guess
play
I
it.
can't post links.
Oh, round! Oh, I'm gonna make him so round. You have no idea.
Oh,
Here we go. You ready? Here we go.
yeah.
Here's the round.
Such a proof.
Edward Hopper is the painter.
Of the original one or the
The original.
Okay. Did you find the vandalized version?
Yes.
It's so good.
They're such weird animals.
Badgers?
No, aardvarks.
Oh, aardvarks. Yeah. I was gonna say badgers are just, you know,
They're like,
Animals.
they're just muscelids, but chunky.
What?
I think badgers are muscelids, are they not?
yeah, they are.
Okay. They're weasels. They're tiny weasels.
They're
I
in the
think I've
weasel
ever heard
family.
that word before.
They have musk.
Hence the name.
Yep.
They smell, basically.
They smell
Any type of
fun.
weasel stinks to high heaven.
I need someone to check that for me. I was actually thinking about something like a minion from Megamind, but instead of the fish under the glass, there's a little plant. Oh yeah, that could be pretty funny too. At that point, I would just ooh, how would you want to do that? You basically, roll the Warforged exactly the same, but instead of having a magical core, you have a tiny plant core. I'd give it 1 hit point, and if anybody ever tries to smash it or remove it, you know, you're broken until it's put back.
I once ran a Warforged that was also kind of undead.
Yeah.
They were powered by the souls of the individuals I had killed.
Oh no. That sounds
It's
very
evil.
Sounds very Golgari.
Very evil. Of course, the thing is, my Warforged didn't know they were powered by the people they killed. So when they found out, they were like, oh,
Oh god, I'm a monster!
that explains the screams.
They
keep hearing
look like
voices.
a Necron from Warhammer.
How did you know? That was exactly what they looked like. Except fantasy. They were a Warforged Force Cleric.
Forging the souls.
Pretty much. They liked making weapons. Since they were paired up with another like Warforged who was a Necromancer. So they kind of like worked off each other.
I played what effectively was a Garam, but it was a Weirwood. A Weirwood Death Cleric. And I played him running around as a monk cleric. And effectively, since he was a plant, he was blind to mammals. So he was just like, all of you weird squishy things look the same, and the fact that you die is interesting to me, and I want to learn more about that. Because he's magical wood. He doesn't age. And he was just, so he was obsessed with how things die, and it just became this really weird, like, kind of dichotomy of when something died, he was like, no, that's interesting. How's that happen? What happens to you? It's like, it got really, really creepy and weird. I got really very fast. That sounds kind of cool. Thanks. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, the Warforged, I could just remember that they just stuck in the background and just came around to the party whenever they needed help, because they were a cleric. So most of the time I was just rolling like smithing checks.
Nice.
Like most of the session. And I had like accumulated like 10,000 gold over time by just selling shit.
I had a
like, hey,
pretty fun system set up for Brooker. He was a cleric that just I took only feats that would make me better at smithing and enchanting, and so I had to come up with a system for selling shit to myself because I was the DM and he was an NPC. So that was fun, making up mini games. Sorry, Jones. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I liked. Don't apologize to me. This is your stream.
I still want to hear you talk.
Well, I already forgot what I was going to say, so it's fine. I think. Yeah. Okay, now I remember. Since they were like a Forge cleric, they could, I think, as an action, make any, like, smith anything that's worth less than 100 gold, if they had the materials, I think.
Yeah, I'm really confused about the Artificer and the Forge Cleric, because there's a lot of instances like that where it's just like, I'd like to use free magic and no materials to make a shit ton of stuff. And it's like, what?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it's a ritual, so it's their fucking channel divinity.
Okay, so see, that does have a limit on it, though. So like,
Yeah, so you have to use your channel divinity, you have to have the materials, and you can create an object from the materials that's less. It's worth no more than 100 gold pieces. Meaning, once a day they could just make a longsword and just sell it.
see, I would argue that the materials you have, like, you still need the materials to make a longsword, but it doesn't have to be. I guess, yeah, you could take dirt. I guess.
I never did it that.
I'm gonna look it up.
But I would argue that because it's channel divinity, that
It's a 1 hour ritual.
A temporary thing, because the gods seem to be pretty clear about value, in my experience, right? Need a certain number of diamonds in order to bring a soul back.
Yeah, so whatever you create with the ritual for an hour is non-magical. So it allows you to make pieces of armor actually over time as well. So that's how I made like plate sets to sell. by a lot faster than your average blacksmith, which apparently takes a year.
Okay. So I figured out where this makes sense in my head to allow this kind of stuff to happen. The thing you create can be something that is worth no more than 100 gold. As part of the ritual, you must lay out metal, which can include coins, with a value equal to the creation. The metal inevitably coalesces and transforms into the creation of the ritual's hand and magically forms something non-metal part of the creator. So that's the thing I think a lot of people don't look at. Which if you cheese the system and sold everything, that's great. But like. It never makes sense to me that people are just like, I'm gonna pray, I have 100 gold now. It's like, no.
No, that's not how that works. Wait. No. I had to buy the materials.
Yeah.
Then,
Basically,
I sold my services of creating things.
Oh, that's perfect then. See, I like
because,
that.
like, longsword is like, I don't know, let's say it's 50 gold. You still need... half of its cost is the material.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the cost is the work. So I'll usually make like a 40-50% profit every time. Every day at least.
Yeah.
Which is very useful. And my character did that for like a year. On the side. Because they didn't talk to the party or anything. They didn't like talking. They just liked working.
Just carry you around in a cart. Portable workstation.
We had a wizard, so we teleported often around. But we had like a town we stayed at.
Oh, okay.
And I was given my own smithy to just chill at. So yeah. That was an interesting character, I guess.
I feel like I didn't draw badger folk. I feel like I just drew a badger.
Yep, a badger with a glaive.
Yep.
Well, what's the difference, really?
I don't know anymore.
That's okay.
So in theory, you could use it to make a Mercury longsword.
Like out of Mercury? Is that a thing I don't understand? I don't get that reference. Can't find the original art, but here's a copy of it. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that original is just someone photoshopping shit. I think I only ever saw that as like a background.
Yeah, I guess I now realize I explained the Channel Divinity badly, but basically, yeah.
So you are not the first person to try to explain that to me and or use it in that form where they're just like, I'm just gonna make this thing. It's like, that's not how that works. Like,
no, I always like bought the materials because it said materials, actually.
Yeah, then that's perfect, and I really like that ability for that.
Like, the capability of making a sword, crafting a beautiful sword in 1 hour,
yeah,
is good.
It's super good.
Like, it's totally understandable. Rook as a perma DM, like, has to look out for that thing, and players do tend to like get so wrapped up in what they want to do that they forget that there are mechanics to keep balanced. Okay. As a player, it's really easy to overlook material components.
Often my DMs tell me, "Don't worry about the materials." Like, but my roleplay.
I want to.
I want to my roleplay.
It's potentially really important for maintaining balance.
Indeed.
Anyway, what I'm saying is I understand why there was confusion.
Yeah.
Look at this. Here I am.
I also explained it badly.
That's a good one. All right.
I love it so much.
I'm gonna look up this Mercurial longsword. Mercury longsword. T-pose to assert your dominance.
But yeah, basically, my character, since like once they got the level 2, just was a blacksmith.
I mean,
one thing they did was when you loot like bandits, you get like short sword, other stuff from goblins. I just reused that material to make better stuff to sell. So
From what I can tell, the Mercury effect costs 600 gold. So no, you could not do that. You could not do
it costs
that.
less than 100 gold.
Yeah, it's gotta cost us 100 gold.
100 or less.
Yep. And it has to be metal, or
Yeah.
a portion of the item has to be.
I think Dr.
made of
Random
metal.
was getting that the fact that Mercury is a metal, you could technically add it to a weapon, but it's expensive for that purpose.
And deadly.
And
But yeah.
super toxic. All right.
Yeah, at higher levels, I think my DM allowed to me to make like pieces of armor, like plate. Still took like a month to make a plate set, but still faster. Is that what they actually
I'm so
do?
big!
Yeah.
Yeah.
The larger ones have been known to like take swats at jaguars who get too close to them and like actually injure the jaguar.
They have claws. I mean,
Yeah.
they have claws that are used to rip open tree stumps. So
and ant hills
And anthills.
and
Yeah. It's like the
termite
one
mounds.
animal that a jaguar will think twice about tangling with,
I mean,
ironically.
porcupines as well.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good place to call it. It's about noon. I'm gonna go get some lunch, get back to work. Thanks for drawing with me today, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
No problem. That's fun.
Have fun. And having fun.
I don't have anything else going on this week. We're just gonna keep plugging on, seeing what's happening. I will try to figure out a way to put a post up so we can do more stuff like this. Friday we'll probably play games again. I'll probably do them here on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Thanks again for hanging out. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table, and we'll catch everybody next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's remind me, I actually bought Slay the Spire.
Oh,
It was fun.
good.